Hello guys, this is your friend Shinobi Addict 2.0 and we are back with a new fanfic. What If Naruto, The Legend of the Dark King Part 1. And if you enjoyed this fanfic then please like and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. Now let's start the fanfic. Everyone knows that Sir X Lucifer, the leader of Underworld, was one of the strongest being in the world. He was the main reason they were able to defeat the four Satan with the help of Ajuka Beelzebub, Seraphol Levitation, Falbium Asmodeus and finally Grafia Lucifuge. Everyone in the younger generation knew this, so this should be truth, right? Wrong. While it is not a total lie, it was not a total truth. They were part of that plan, but there was also one man whose power was parallel or even superior with Lord Shiva, the god of destruction. One of the Trimurti. No one knew the truth because he never used his full power in battle. He held back a great deal in order to enjoy the fight. Some devils also said that he is so strong that he might be the one who could obliterate 666, but he considered one of the most loyal men to the old Lucy. Fair, he was battle-hungry, ruthless and cold. He was believed to have loved battle over any other thing, but this was not true. He had fallen in love with a woman that he thought was the most beautiful person in world. The woman was none other than Grafia Lucifuge, the Ice Queen. When he saw her for the first time, he was speechless. He slowly fell for her and in no way noticed it. As for Grafia, she also fell for him after some time by working with him. They both were into each other but were oblivious to each other's feelings. The one who noticed and got them closer was Euclid, Grafia's little brother. He really didn't like the fact that she loved more someone other than him, but he was happy that she found a man she deserved and a man he respected. For everything, it was none other than Naruto Uzumaki. He was the strongest devil with the power over darkness, Hellblaze and full counter. There was not a single entity who could match him, in strength or in power. Grafia did not just fall for him because of his power, but because of his devotion. He was the most dedicated person she has ever met and they loved each other more than anything did. However, fate had different plans for them. Line break. The Civil War. Everyone knew that the rebellion would never be able to defeat the old Satan. However, because of Naruto, he was their shield. No matter what the rebellion did, they were unable to defeat him. Either consumed by darkness, burnt by hellfire or destroyed by their own attacks. The rebel army was so tense that they did not know how they could defeat such monster. He was too powerful for them and everyone had almost lost all hope, but Sir X had another plan. He knew of what was Naruto's weakness, his love Grafia. Sir X also wanted Grafia but not because of love, but because of lust. His plan was that they would attack in few days towards Western Front where Naruto and Grafia were currently located and he had a plan to handle Grafia, and the Rime Ning 3 would attack Naruto to buy some time. If their plan worked, then victory was theirs. In the next few days, they attacked the Western Front. However, it was much harder than they had previously thought. As they had planned, Sir X approached Grafia. The battle was intense but Sir X finally overpowered Grafia. She was devastated. She would never see her beloved Naruto again. All she had wanted was to live rest of her life with him, but that could never happen now. She closed her eyes to accept the death, but it never came. When she opened her eyes, she saw Sir X extending his hand. Grafia was confused. Why was a potential enemy helping her? When Sir X saw this, he explained about peace. If they win, everyone would be happy. No one would have to die. Future generation would not be in constant terror and she can live with her beloved people. Grafia's first thought was about Naruto. How they could live together, but that also meant that she would have to betray Lucifer, their leader. However, to her, no one was more important than Naruto. She accepted Sir X's offer, but Sir X told her that she have to convince Naruto to join their side. She knew it would be extremely hard, because Naruto was very loyal to Lucifer. After all, the first Lucifer saved his life. Therefore he thought that his duty to protect the Lucifer family. Grafia nodded her head and both she and Sir X started to run towards Naruto's direction. When both of them reached the destination, what they saw completely horrified them. There were bodies everywhere. Both sides of devils had suffered fatal blows but Grafia was searching for Naruto. Line break. With Naruto, Naruto was battling three people with a bit of difficulty. It was true, he was the strongest devil, but the three were quite good and their teamwork excellent. He had never enjoyed a battle quite like this one, only using 50% of his total strength. He was sweating from a few scratches, but they were healed as time went on, the darkness burning the wounds away. In his left hand, he held a Jian, the legendary Kusanagi no Tsurugi, one. At the same time, the other three devils, Ajuka, Seraphol and Folbium, were totally messed up. Naruto was too strong for them, but everything changed when they heard someone calling for Naruto. When they saw Grafia calling him and Sir X behind her, they knew that their half of the plan had succeeded. Now it was up to Grafia to convince Naruto. Naruto looked towards a voice and saw Grafia running towards him with Sir X behind her. Without a second thought, he was between Grafia and Sir X, punching him in the face intensely. He blew back thousands of feet, snapping trees in half as he smashed through them. Naruto was going to attack Sir X but Grafia held him back. She told Naruto to stop this senseless fight. She did not want him to fight the meaningless battles. She wanted to live with him happily with him and their potential children. At that moment Naruto was extremely angry, no he was furious. It was unthinkable that his love wanted him to betray his master and his family. The same family he swore to protect, but at the same time, he also wanted to be happy with Grafia. He was too confused what to do. The three devils approached him and revealed that if he helped them, he will not only have a better future with Grafia, but he will also save his master's family and prevent any future deaths. Naruto looked towards three devils and final looked towards Grafia. He smiled at her and sheathed the Kusanagi onto his right hip. He turned towards Grafia and hugged her. Naruto told her that he would no longer fight this meaningless war. He would confront the old Satan faction himself. When they heard this proclamation, all four of them could not believe it. They had thought that since he was extremely loyal to Lucifer, he would confront them. Grafia was worried. If the old Satan faction tried to attack him, he would not defend himself. Grafia tried to protest, but Naruto had made decision and he was not going to back down from it. So Grafia thought the next best thing was to go with him. Naruto tried to protest, but Grafia did not even let him speak. All she did was kiss him on the lips, silencing him. She told him that she would join him no matter what. While Naruto and Grafia were arguing, all three devils were looking at them with mirth. It was quite sad to see what could be the most powerful devil, being completely dominated by a woman in an argument. That aside, they still had their doubts that Naruto could pull it off. When Naruto noticed this, he told them that he did not care if they believed in them or not. He was going to do it for Grafia. He told them that if he did not want to help them to stop the war, then they would have been long since dead. At that comment, they tensed. It was true, if he wanted, he would have killed them without a sweat. Seraphol was the first to speak. She told Naruto that they were sorry, but seeing as they were just fighting, it was hard to trust Naruto. Hearing this, Naruto said nothing but walked towards her. She tensed up as both of her friends moved to protect her. Naruto ignored both of them and moved to face Seraphol. As his hand touched the top of her head, she flinched. Naruto chuckled as he ruffled her long black hair. He told her that it was naturally hard to trust someone in such conditions. After a few seconds, he turned toward Grafia and teleported both Grafia and himself away from battlefield, leaving the three devils alone. It was then that Folbium noticed that something or someone was missing. He recalled the previous minutes and they all remembered about Naruto punching Sir X and how he was sent flying towards forest. Suddenly they felt a massive blast of killer intent emanating from Sir X, who now was out of the forest. Most of his clothes were stained with blood, his jaw was almost dislocated and he was seething in anger. When he saw his friends were standing around, he asked them where was Naruto and Grafia. They told him that both of them were going to confront the old Satan faction, but Sir X told them they should also go in case they needed to help them. However, this was just a farce. In reality he wanted to have all the fame so he could have Grafia ruling over him. Line break. Old Satan faction palace. Both Naruto and Grafia appeared outside of the palace in a yellow flash. The palace guards greeted them but they were ignored by the two devils. The two devils walked towards the war room that contained all of the current Satan faction. Some of the guards were surprised to see him because they thought he destroyed the members of the rebellion. As Naruto entered into the room, he was greeted with smiles. They congratulated him for his obliteration of the rebellion, but he stopped them cold by saying he did not win the fight. He told them that he did not want to fight the meaningless war anymore. He wanted to live a quiet life with Grafia in peace. When the Satans heard about peace, they started to laugh. How can the most brutal man in the underworld live in peace, a man who loves fighting more than anything else live? In peace? His reply shocked them. He was not the same Naruto that they knew. When they first meet him, he was empty inside. Now that he had met Grafia, that emptiness inside him has been filled. Grafia blushed at that comment and grabbed Naruto's left hand. She knew that the Satans were angry, so they might attack him. She swore she would be the one who would protect him. Just as she thought that, Leviathan and all of the guards jumped to attack them. Naruto, seeing this, did not even move. Grafia moved in front of him to protect him, in order to take the blow for him. When Leviathan was mere feet away from Grafia, she yelled at her saying that she was the reason that Naruto was betraying them. She would kill Grafia and have Naruto herself. Leviathan thrust her hand to kill Grafia, but Leviathan felt a bone-shattering kick to her left cheek and was sent towards the right stone brick wall, unconscious upon impact. Every guard that tried to attack was dead, limbs slowly falling around them. All of the remaining Satan and their lackeys in the room were shocked what just happened. 1 second she was going kill Grafia, and then in the next second she was embedded in the wall unconscious with every guard in bloody chunks. When they saw who kicked her, their bodies froze in fear. They saw Naruto with half of his body covered in darkness. His eyes were black, a spiral mark appeared on the left side of his forehead. The look he was giving was so cold that no one dared to move from the spot. When he spoke, his voice was deep. He told them that they could kill him if they wanted, but if anyone dared to touch her, he would erase them from existence. Stunned, all they could do was just nod their heads and sit there. Soon they heard an explosion and they saw guards come from the doors for help as they said there was enemy attack. No one dared to move from his or her spot, but Naruto spoke to Lucifer, warning them to leave. This was the last time he will give him and his companions a chance to live. If anyone dared to come back for revenge, he would slaughter them. Upon hearing that, everyone teleported away, leaving soldiers behind. As the old Satan faction left, the door behind Naruto and Grafia opened and they saw the 4 devils coming to fight. When they entered, they saw the mutilated bodies of many devils in Naruto and Grafia hugging, with almost half of Naruto's body covered in darkness. Darkness drained from Naruto's body when Grafia kissed him in front of the 4 devils. When Sir X saw this, he seethed in anger, but managed to control himself, which was noticed by Ajuka and Naruto. Naruto and Grafia separated themselves from each other, but Naruto kept his hand around her in protective manner, causing her to blush. When they came out of palace, everyone froze when they saw Naruto. However, when Ajuka came to the front and told them that they had won the war and Naruto was on their side, they starting to cheer Naruto's name. However, Naruto motioned his hand to stop them and told them that he did not do anything special. He had just helped these 4 devils and they were the real heroes. So the crowd also stating to cheer the 4 devils, they were strong and ultimate class devils for nothing. After few years into their relationship, Naruto and Grafia got married. Everyone in the underworld was happy for them, that is, except Sir X, who was still obsessed with Grafia. Again, Naruto noticed this, but not only him but others as well. Amongst those that were Lord and Lady Gremory, his rival Ajuka and Grafia herself. It really bugged her how Sir X was constantly leering at her. She warned him, but it was not getting any better. After a while, Naruto took Sir X aside and told him to leave Grafia and his family alone. Naruto did this in hopes that Sir X would leave peacefully, but it was only until a few weeks and one bodily harm threat later that Sir X finally relented and started to ignore them. After a few days, Naruto was offered the place of Lucifer, but he rejected it, saying he did not want to become Lucy. Fear because of all the paperwork that came with it. Everyone's sweat dropped at that comment, but no one pushed the matter further. Instead, Sir X took the position of Lucifer, with Ajuka becoming Beelzebub, Seraphol becoming Leviathan and Folbium becoming Asmodeus. Then Ajuka created the evil pieces and distributed them to everyone. At first Naruto disagreed, but after some time Grafia and Seraphol convinced him. For his queen, Naruto naturally chose Grafia. His knight was his old companion Sparda, he took both. His old teacher Eryx became his rook, he took both pieces as well. Then there was also his bishop, one of the deadliest females outside of Grafia, Brandish. Finally, Mudgear became his pawn, utilizing all the pawn pieces. Naruto's peerage was small compared to the others, but it was one of the strongest and all of them were extremely loyal to him. Days passed by with everything at peace. One day, Grafia was so happy that she just flew to where Naruto was doing his work. She hugged him and that he was going to be a father. Silence reigned for few seconds. Naruto was shocked. Then he exploded into a happiness so strong that entire underworld would have been heard him yell. He took her directly his home and told her from now on she would not work because she needed rest. Naruto then told his peerage, subordinates that they would have to handle almost everything from now on, because he will be with his wife 24/7. Unless it was extremely important, no one should disturb him or Grafia. Naruto bought everything for her, anything she would ask for except for letting her work. When the news reached to the underworld, everyone started to congratulate the couple. Everything was perfect and after 9 months, Grafia gave a birth to a silver-haired, blue-eyed baby girl. She was adorable but Naruto was afraid that he might accidentally hurt her. Grafia told him that he would never hurt them, even without intention. So he held his daughter in his hand, her small body in his big and powerful arm. When his daughter saw Naruto, she started to giggle and coo. It made Naruto extremely happy. Then he sat down beside his wife and held her in one hand and his daughter in the other. He was the happiest man in the world at that moment. In just a few days, his home was filled with joy. A few months after his wife's delivery, many other families gave birth. Everything was going peacefully, but then the old Satan factions began to attack the nearby borders. Naruto and Sir X decided to go deal with them. Before Naruto left, he went towards his wife and daughter, who were playing with his peerage. He knelt down and kissed his daughter on her forehead, and then he walked towards his wife, kissing her on the lips and told her that he would be back soon. Then he ordered his peerage that until he came back, it was their duty to protect his family. He looked back towards them, even as he flew away, silently telling himself that he would see them again. The battle was totally one-sided as Naruto annihilated everyone who was in front of him. However, he spared the old faction saying he could not kill them because of his word to the first Lucifer who saved his life. The old faction told him the truth of why Lucifer saved him, but his reply shocked them. He told them he already knew everything but it was because he saved his life that he was doing this favor. As he was speaking, a red beam pierced through him, entering his body from the back and exiting through his chest, nicking his heart. He was shocked that someone could have hurt him but when he looked behind him, he saw Sir X grinning and then laughing. Sir X told him about his plan with the old Satan factions to take Naruto out, then he would have Grafia as his slave and his daughter will be raised on the street. Naruto felt numb. The attack had cut through on the superior vein cava and he used some holy water in the attack making Naruto unable to move his body properly. When Naruto heard what Sir X was going to do to his family he snapped and with a monstrous burst of power, the very underworld shook. Naruto tried to use his dark cannon attack to kill Sir X, but the attack ripped through the entirety of the left side of Sir X's body, atomizing his left hand and leg. Sir X was bleeding badly. Naruto slumped down on a hillside and when Sir X and the old faction saw this, they took this opening to attack. Everyone hit Naruto with their most powerful attack. Naruto was badly hurt, he was not able to move as the ground below him was shattered and he started to fall. As they watched, they heard his last word very clearly, "I will come back but this time I will show no mercy towards anyone." Then his body hit the lava in the volcano below and burst into flames. Suddenly the lava bubbled and Naruto's body fell through. Suddenly, Sir X attacked the entirety of the old Satan faction and before they could react, they saw Ajuka and Seraphol come there with magic circles. So they did the next best thing, they fled. When Sir X told his story, he said that they attacked Naruto from behind and killed him with the wave of holy water, pierced his heart and threw him into the volcano. Sir X elaborated the story by saying that he tried to save Naruto, but lost his left hand and leg in doing so. Both Ajuka and Serafall were distressed. How were they going to explain this to Grafia? When they told everyone what Sir X told them, they were devastated to hear that their strongest devil was killed. However, none were more distraught than Grafia and Naruto's peerage. Grafia was devastated. She could not believe that it was true, but Naruto never returned. She was so overwhelmed that she locked herself in Naruto's room. Naruto's peerage tried to console her, but it was not working until they reminded her about her daughter. Grafia rushed out of the room towards her and held her in her hands, her tears landing softly on her daughter's head. Grafia was her only hope of living, so she would live for her. 100 years passed and all but the older generation forgot about Naruto Uzumaki. Line break. And cut. Man, writing story is really pain in. Sinbad's note. You think writing is a pain? Try editing. Anyway, this is my new story where Naruto will be really as for his power it's from Nansu no Taizai same as Meliodas but little bit different his look will be the same as Estaro's. But with little bit serious personality the main story will start in next chapter so enjoy the story. 1. Contrary to popular belief, the Kusanagi no Tsurugi is not a katana, as the legend of the Kusanagi no Tsurugi predates katanas by hundreds of years. Have a nice day. X wake up with jolt with sweat covering his entire body. He was again having nightmare again. It's been 100 years since he was having the same nightmare. Naruto, the mere thought of him made him angry because even after his death Sir X can't sleep peacefully. His mind always told him that he is dead but deep in his heart he knew that one day he will come back to avenge him. Sir X got up from his bed and looked towards left side of bed. He saw silver-haired women sleeping peacefully. The woman was in her early 20s with waist-length hair farm. He saw her with hunger in his eyes when he walked towards her and slightly removed her hair from face. He heard the moan from her. Then the woman turned her head towards Sir X. He frowned. He was disappointed. Why he have to marry this woman, someone other than Grafia? Sir X then remembers how he and this woman become his wife. Her name was Isane Kotetsu. Flashback. Sir X was desperate. It was almost 20 years but Grafia didn't fall for his charms. He always tried to attract her but he flatly ignored him or Naruto's peerage stopped him doing anything funny. One day everyone was having a party of Sir X's birthday. Many high-class devils were there. Soon party started. Sir X then approached Grafia. Hello Grafia. She also greeted with him. Hello Lord Lucifer. Then he spoke. Grafia, I told your PLS call me Sir X. But she replied, sorry Lord Lucifer but it will be improper for me to talk to you casually. Sir X sighed that he knew that Grafia didn't like him but that's what made him more angry. Why can't she see that Naruto is dead? She should be with me now. Grafia, would you like to dance with me? But Grafia declined with saying, sorry Lord Lucifer but I am not feeling well so hope you understand. Sir X said nothing as he nodded his head but inside he was fuming with anger so he left from there. Then he called the waiter, give any alcohol to the Grafia's group, let them drink until they pass out and slip the alcohol with Grafia's drink at the last. Waiter nodded his head and got to work as Sir X knows Grafia's low alcohol tolerance so it will be easy prey. After some time almost all people were gone to their home as there was only few peoples like Serafall, Ajuka, Mr. and Mrs. Gremory, Mr. and Mrs. Phoenix and Grafia's group. Grafia's group almost passed out while Serafall was also passed out. Gremory and Phoenix were sober but then they also leave for some private discussion. Now Sir X saw this chance and told the waiter to slip alcohol with Grafia's drink. As he was done Grafia drank it but as just she sipped it she became total drunk. Then she started to throw everything. Why the hell this table is here? Why everyone is quiet? Enjoy the party with music. As music starts, X come near Grafia and hold her waist. As he done this Grafia turn her head and speak, Naruto. Sir X becomes angry as he heard his name but he nodded his head and started to leave with her in his private chamber. As they were walking, Grafia was babbling, hey Naruto, where have you been all this time? I really miss you. I was so sad but now I am happy and now I will not let you leave me again and you will be pleasuring me all night. You will have to make it up to me for 20 years. Sir X's face become red at that but control himself as they entered his room. Sir X grabbed Grafia and planted kiss on her lip. She also responded, but as they separated themselves, Grafia spoke, "You smell different, Naruto. Your kiss is also not as passionate as used to be. Don't you like me?" Sir X spoke nothing. As he grabs her above her dress, he tore them apart and started to press it hard and pinch them as Grafia cried in pain, "Naruto, please stop, you're hurting me." But Sir X threw her at his bed and removed his clothes. As he approached her, he was forcing himself on her. He removed her panty and saw a sacred place which he was going to dirty himself. Grafia thought for a moment, as she knew Naruto was rough with her sometimes, but he was never forceful. This was so frustrating for her, but then it hit her. How can be Naruto is here? If he is dead, then she concentrated for his or source, but then she feels Sir X energy is. Sir X was almost inch away from her womanhood. She threw him away, saying, "Get away from me." As she was fully awake now, she covered herself with bed sheet and Sir X got up and yelled, "What are you doing, Grafia?" She also yelled, "I am trying to protect myself. As you were going to rape me in my vulnerable state." Then suddenly door opened and Ajuka came in. As she saw him, she spoke, "Ajuka, thank goodness you came here. This man was trying to rape in my vulnerable condition and I want to speak with Lord and Lady Gremory right now." Ajuka was shocked. First he noticed Grafia was drunk, then both Sir X and Grafia was gone. As he was searching for them, then he heard loud scream coming from his friend's room. He saw Sir X necked on one side of bed and Grafia was covering herself with bed sheets, saying Sir X was trying to rape her. Ajuka looks at his friend for confirmation. Sir X spoke, "She let me do it. I didn't force myself." Then Grafia spoke, "You just gone this far because I was drunk and I thought you were Naruto. If I ever knew that it was you, I would have never let you even touch me." Ajuka knew about his obsession towards Grafia, but to go this far, it was limit. Ajuka then spoke, "Grafia, just calm down a second. I will inform Lord Gremory." As Grafia calmed down a bit, he turned towards Sir X, who was furious. "Sir X, I know about your obsession about her, but it have gone too far now. He is married to Naruto and she have one daughter. She still love him. You should let go of the past and start a new life." Sir X looked at him like he was crazy, but Ajuka continued, "You may be my best friend and rival, but Naruto is the man I respect the most, so you better understand and move on." Quote. Sir X then yelled, "But Naruto is dead. Why can't anyone accept that I am giving her chance to live a new life where she can be my queen, but she still have to stick towards her dead husband?" As soon as he said that, Grafia attacked him with ice daggers and spoke, "Sir X, remember this, my husband. He told me he will come back and I know him better than anyone. He will never break a promise made to me. He will come back from death itself to fulfill his promise to me, so you better remember it." Sir X was angry, so he even tried to attack her with power of destruction, but he was stopped by Ajuka, who deflected his attack with his own. Then Ajuka restrained him. "Grafia, go get Lord and Lady Gremory. I will hold him off for some time now. Do." As he told her, she changed her clothes with magic and ran for the search for the Gremory family. She didn't have to search them for long time. As he approached at them, they looked at her with happy faces, but when they saw her face, they became tense. Grafia then told them everything as they ran towards Sir X's room. As they entered, they saw Sir X was blinded by thorns by Mudgear and sword at his neck by Sparda with Ajuka. Them as they entered Lord Gremory spoke, "What the hell happened here? And Ajuka, tell me everything." As he demanded that, Ajuka spoke, "As Grafia leave to find your Sir X attacked me as I was hoping to cause less destruction, but he was furious, saying if I was his friend he would have helped him to have Grafia, but as he was attacking me, these both helped me to stop him. And sorry to say, Lord Gremory, but he is really mentally unstable right now. He just need one thing, Grafia, and it's very abnormal." Lord Gremory was totally shocked. First thing he knew about his obsession with Grafia, but trying to rape her and attack his friend. It's gone too far. He looked at his wife but spoke, "I think he need to know that he can't have anything he want. He needs to know to let go of things." Then he ordered Sparda and Mudgear to let him go, but they looked at Grafia for order. As she also nodded her head to let him go, they obeyed her and let him go and jump in front of Grafia in protective manner in case he decided to attack. As Lord Gremory walked towards Sir X with extremely high amount of demonic power, he looked at Sir X within his eyes and spoke, "Sir X, why are you doing this? You know she is married and have a child, so why are you still obsessed with her? She didn't want to think about another man, so why are you forcing her? She is not yours. Accept that." "How can I accept that? The women I want love someone else. Why she love him anyway? I am rich, handsome, Smart and big tool, what does he have that I don't? Last part he said with smirk, but Greyfear replied, he has a big heart, he respects those who do the hard work, not pervert like yourself. He is the most determined person I know and your tool is nothing compared to him. Last part she said with blushing, which made Lady Gremory blush and all males look down in embarrassment. Sir X then exploded in anger. Why do you even love him? I want you, so why do you still love him? Then Greyfear spoke, that's the difference, you can't see, you want me because of my body, but we need each other. If he haven't come to my life I would have been dead long ago, and if I wasn't in his life none of you would have been alive this to happen. He also doesn't like violence that much, but he do loves a good fight that put him to use his most power. He can hardly hold back, and there was no one in his early life like you. Live in this castle with joy, he have to fight to live, so that's why he use force to do things, but deep in down he is the most gentle man I would ever meet, and you can't even hope to become like him. Everyone in the room was silent. They never knew about Naruto's past, but now as Greyfear told, was Naruto's past really that bad? He never told anyone about, but Sir X spoke, but he is dead, so why do you still hung up for him? Become my queen and everything will be fine. Sparda and Mudgear was ready to attack but stopped by Greyfear. Then Lord Gremory spec, Sir X, behave yourself. Right before coming here I arranged the marriage contract between Rise of Phoenix and Darius. It will be held in 80 years from now on. You have to behave or else the marriage contract will be destroyed and it will be on your head. Sir X became quiet, but then Greyfear continued, look Sir X, I love Naruto and Naruto only. My heart, my soul and even this body only belongs to Naruto. It doesn't matter what you do, I will never be yours by any means, and I know he will come back and he never breaks his promise. Sir X looked at her, then he smiled and spoke, as you say he will come back, right? Getting nod from Greyfear as he continued, let's just say we put a bet. Everyone was confused what he was talking about, but Greyfear asked, what kind of bet? I may ask. Sir X smirked and spoke, if in 80 years Naruto does come back I will never bother you, but if he never come back in 80 years, right be for Ria's marriage, then you will accept me as your king and you will be my servant for eternity. Everyone was shocked at that bet. Sir X was talking senseless, she will never accept that bet, but her reply shocked them even more. I accept the bet, but in meantime you will never bother me and my fam. ILY, is that clear? And if you bother us the bet will void. Do you accept? With smirk he accepted the bet and everyone was told to be secret about the bet. Then everyone was gone home with total shocked look and everyone was thinking what the hell just happened. Time skip. 20 years later. Sir X was frustrated. It's been 20 years when he bet with Greyfear and because of that he wasn't able to even talk with her and it pissed him off. Why did he have to accept that damn stupid condition? But he accepted and now he wanted to her right now. So Sir X used to drink often when he got frustrated, but today was different. He was hungry for, so he started to throw the things everywhere. At the same time on his guard duty was his knight Izune Kotetsu. She was tall charming woman with white hair tied in ponytail with slender figure with medium size. She was wearing G-Knight armor. She was one of the finest, not the strongest female swordswoman. She was 4th strongest knight in ranking, but when she heard the sound of throwing things inside of Sir X's room she went in his room immediately. As Izune entered in his room she saw the room was totally mess and Sir X throwing everything everywhere. Then she spoke, Lord Sir X, please control yourself. Sir X turns towards the voice that was calling him and saw Izune, but then his vision changed and he saw Greyfear. Without any warning he attacked her body, pinning her to the wall. As Izune protested, please Lord Sir X, let me go. He grabbed her more and kissed her, then crushed her armor and removed it. Then he started to squeeze her above her clothes. As Izune was protesting, Sir X was doing it more hardly and forcibly. Then he tore her clothes and started to suck and bite her harder. She cried in pain, but she wasn't able to free herself from him, and as no one come to help her she gave in to him, as she also have small crush for him. So she spoke, please be gentle Lord Sir X. He removed his clothes showing his manhood, then grabbed her head and shoved it inside her mouth for mouth. Sir X was mouthed so hard her throat hurt and almost choked her, but she was able to handle herself by pushing Sir X bit backward, but she wasn't able to do anything more than that. In few minutes he came in her mouth and she had to swallow it. Then he told her to suck it. She did with hesitation. Then he moved towards her womanhood and tore her panties. Sir X stared at her and thought, now I will you Greyfear and your body will be mine forever, and put the tip of his manhood above her womanhood to rub it in. Without saying anything, he put his manhood inside her womanhood. She screamed in pain as he broke her hymen. Blood started to come out of her womanhood, but without mercy he started to ram her as he was raping her. Isen's body went limp in few minutes. As he come in her feeling exhausted, he separated himself from her. Sir X was exhausted, sweating heavily. When he looked at his right side, he was shocked to see Isane on his bed. Her clothes tore apart, bite marks on her body, semen covered her pubic area. How the hell she is here? I was with Grafia, th. And it hit him. He raped her. He panicked. If his father saw this, it will be hell to pay. So he grabbed her in bed sheets and walked towards the door. The door was opened by his father and Ajuka. Few minutes ago, Lord Gremory and Ajuka were having chat about underworld working as they thought it would be improper for them not to talk with Sir X. Even though he is not that suitable for the position of Lucifer, there was no one who was accepting the position, so they have to meet him. As they were walking, should they? NLY Lord Gremory. Ajuka, do you really think that Naruto is alive? This question surprised Ajuka, so he cross-questioned him. Sorry Lord Gremory, but may I ask the cause of question? So he replied, it's just that my son is really desperate for Grafia, and until he get what he wanted, he will not calm down. He will use any means to get her. Ajuka looked at him surprised that Lord Gremory was still thinking about that. He thought that Sir X would have been able to control himself in 20 years, so he spoke. I know Lord Gremory, you are worried about your son's well-being, but I think he would have gotten over her as they haven't talked to each other in 20 years and Sir X haven't done anything to her and her family. And that's why I am worried about. Ajuka didn't understand what he was talking about, so he let go of the subject. Current time. As they both walked quietly, they reached their destination, but when they opened the door, what they saw shocked them to core. Sir X was holding his uncurious knight, and by looks of the room they feared what he might have done, so he spec, Sir X, what is the meaning of this and why are you holding your unconscious knight? Don't tell me you did what I think. When he got no reply from him, he yelled, what the hell did you do? Do you even know that you raped your knight? And here I thought that you might have changed, but you will never change. You are like this from the start. If I had disciplined you from the start, none of this would have happened, and let go of her right now. Sir X was shocked. His father was always angry at him, but never like this. He knew that they were polar opposite, but this was too much. He did what his father said as he threw her on his bed. Then he looked at his friend for support, but his reply was also shocking for him. Sir X, I have known you since childhood. You always got away because of your charms. Many girls have fallen for you, but why can't you accept the simple fact that she loves someone else, not you? Then Sir X also replied, because I am better. I have money, fame, looks, position of Lucifer, and the power of destruction. Then Ajuka looked towards his friend like he was an idiot or what, but spoke, Naruto also have money, more fame than you, better looks than you, and the position you talked about. You have it because he didn't accept it, and even Grafia also refused the position. The third option was you, and the power of destruction you talked about. You also know that you were defeated by him in spa every single time with your full power, and he would just use his 10% of power to wipe he flow out of you. Before Sir X could speak, Lord Gremory spoke. Sir X, what you have done is unforgivable, and you will have to face the consequence. You raped your knight and you have to take responsibility. Then Sir X asked, and what kind of responsibility you are talking about? Lord Gremory looked at his son with anger and spoke, you will have to marry her, you like it or not. Sir X looks at his father in disbelief and almost yelled, hell no, I will not marry her. Then Lord Gremory spoke, you will, young man, and if you don't, you will not only lose your position as Lucifer, but you will be placed as servant of Gremory clan, and you will be married to Isane. It's up to you. How do you want it, peacefully or hard way? Sir X looked at his father and he knew he was damn serious, so he would have to do things by his way for now, but he thought, just wait Grafia, I will have why. Oh you, and when I have you I will kill this stupid bitch. As Sir X nodded his head. Flashback end. Sir X walked towards the bathroom for morning rituals. After he was done, he wore his Lucifer clothes thinking about his sister's marriage and started to walk towards his door. As he opened the door, he was greeted with his father. Over the years his father have changed much more than he thought. They still talked civilized in public, but when they were in private he would look at him like disgrace of family. His mother still supported him that he will have Grafia as his queen and she will know the true strength of power of destruction. Then there was his little sister Rias Gremory, the princess of destruction. He do love his sister dearly, and the fact when he meet the Riser he do not like him as his sister. As future husband, but his obsession over Greyfear was so much great he did nothing to void the contract. As he saw his father was walking with his servants, then he greeted, "Hello father and good morning." Sir X waited for his father to reply, but he spoke nothing. Sir X was humiliated, but he was wise not to cause commotion, so he started to walk, but his father spoke. Sir X, when he heard his father was calling him, he turned his face, but his father was still looking at opposite direction, but he spoke, "Meet me at my study room in half hour. I have something to discuss with you about the marriage between Reyes and Riser." With that said, he started to walk towards his study room. Sir X bowed to his father and left. As Lord Gremory was walking, he thought about his family, his wife beautiful and elegant. She has firm belief that power of destruction is greatest power, and his both son and daughter. Or was also thinking that they were strongest. Reyes, who was strong in her own rights, she was not the strongest devil of her age, she was the third strongest of her age, while her cousin was second strongest, but the strongest devil for her age was Elsa Uzumaki, the strongest rookie devil, and also Nona as Ice Princess, the daughter of strongest couple Naruto and Greyfear. I really failed as a father and a husband, thought Lord Gremory. Uzumaki household. Uzumaki household was not big as other high-class devils, but the place was always crowded with friends of Uzumaki family. Everyone was doing their RK, but certain Silverhead was in deep thought. Now only one day is remained. Where are you, Naruto? I need you right now. Please come back for me, come back for our family. As tears started to pour from her eyes. As Greyfear was crying, Naruto's peerage noticed this but spoke nothing. They know how much she missed him. Well, everyone was missing him, but none were more than Greyfear, so they looked at her with sorrow. Also, tomorrow was wedding of Reyes and Riser, and last day of the bet made 80 years ago. Naruto's peer G protested about this, but she said that she believed in Naruto and she knew he will come back, but she have given the orders to them as their queen that if anything goes wrong they should take care of Elsa. Their thought turns towards Elsa. She was beautiful woman with silver hair and blue eyes, a prodigy in controlling ice, but when it comes to darkness, Hellblaze and full counter, she was total rookie because there was no one who could teach her about it, so she lacked about that ability, but there was something different about her. No one knew the reason, but she always have more resistance towards holy powers than any devils they have ever seen. Speaking of Elsa, she was talking with her peerage. She was wearing plain white top and black skirt. She was also wearing Uzumaki swirl pendant in her neck like her mother. Her peerage was also very different than many others. She was totally frank with her peerage. They were like family to her. Her set wasn't complete yet. There was only one bishop left. Her queen was Medica Kurokumi, purple hair beauty. Her knights were sons of Sparda, Virgil and Dante. They were half-breed born from human mother who was also living with them. Her rooks were couple Kensai and Mashiro. They were reincarnated devils, and Kensai was with sacred gear. Then there was his one bishop Nano. She was healer and also magic caster with high magic power. Then there was her pawn dragon devotee Atsumi and Wave. They were both best buddies with sacred gears. Her peerage were discussing about the marriage between Reyes and Riser. Don't you guys think that it's really too much even for Reyes? Asks Tatsumi to the group. I know that this is little too much for her. Sometimes she may be bossy and but we can't do anything. This is contract between two families, so no one other than her family members can stop this. Spoke Elsa. Then her queen and best friend Medica spoke. If I remember, Riser was also interested in you. How did you get rid of him? Now everyone in her peerage were interested how she got rid of Riser from her back. They were also curious why her family was treated with more respect than four Satans. Elsa sighed that remembering that day but spoke. Well, it's indeed true that his family proposed a contract with my family, but mother declined the contract, saying it's my decision. And who should I marry? She stops as she looks towards Tatsumi. For fraction of sec, no one other than Medica caught it, giving her smirk but spoke nothing as Elsa continued. But he was persistent. He sometimes tried to grope me in public but was unsuccessful, and when I told this to Uncle Sparda, let's just say it wasn't good day for him. Well, yeah, what do you expect from world's strongest knight? Spec Dante with some. Then Isane spoke. Well, that might be true, but I think Elsa's mother is wise king to have such loyal and trustworthy subordinates. Then Virgil spoke. Nano, it's true Lady Greyfear is good leader, but she is not king. That shocked everyone except Dante and Medica. Then Wave asks, what do you mean Lady Greyfear is not king? Then Elsa spoke. The truth is she is queen to my father. Now that shocked them more. Mashiro was the first one to spoke. Elsa, where is your father? I haven't seen him around anywhere. Everyone nodded their head in agreement, but the one who replied was Dante. Well, I don't know the truth, but my father said that he died 100 years ago. Everyone becomes sad because of the news, but Dante continued. But he also says that it's not easy to kill him, he was strongest devil. Now everyone was confused what he was saying. Virgil saw this conflict, so he spoke. What my idiot brother is trying to say that my father in the entire peerage believes he is alive, but because of certain circumstance, as he can't come here. Then Kensai asked, and what might be circumstances not to contact with his family? Virgil looks at Kensai and spoke. Personally I don't know, but my father said that he was pierced through heart with a sword drenched in holy water. Many peerage gasped at that. How can devil survive holy water which destroyed his internal organs? But Virgil continued. But there is also one thing. And what is that? Asks Tatsumi. Father said that he was much more resistant towards holy powers than any devil, and it include Elsa, finished Virgil. Everyone in the room was dead silent. Elsa was in deep thought. Father, are you really alive? Then please come back to us. Mother always talks about you and how you never break promises, but then why are you not coming? Dante saw this conflict, so he spoke. Well guys, as you know, tomorrow is big day, but I think tomorrow is going to one heck of bang. Who agrees with me? Everybody ignores him. Hey, at least reply, you jerks. Dante yelled in anger, but then he felt something hard hit his head when he saw who it was. He Aves in fear, the woman who is one scarcest person in the underworld. If you make her angry, his mother. Watch your mouth, young man, or do you want to get some beating? Asks his mother, to whom Dante rapidly shook his head. Everyone started laughing. Grafia was watching this from other side of room with her fellow peerage. She smiles at scene. She was happy to have friends like that, but still there was missing part in this perfect picture, and she was still believing he will come to her just like he promised. She turned her head towards other occupants in the room and spoke. Sparda. As she speak, he bowed to her. Yes, my lady. She sighed at him. She and Naruto have told him many times not to speak like that when they are not in public, but she speak. If you have any training regimen for the kids, then cancel the TEF or the week. Sparda was bit surprised about that and spoke. If I may ask why, my lady? Grafia looks towards kids, smiles and replied. Even strongest warriors in the world also needs his rest, and they need some time for themselves. Sparda just nodded his head. Next day, wedding hall. There were many guests in the party. Everyone was attending the wedding ceremony of Riza and Rias. Lord and Lady Gremory were greeting with guests. Lord and Lady Phoenix were also attending their guests. The four Satans were also chatting with each other. Sir X was occasional looking at Grafia, who was ignoring him. Just wait few minutes, Grafia, I will have you, and this time no one is gonna save you from me now. Ajuka saw his friend's face. He was disappointed in him. How can he go so low for one woman who didn't want be in his presence at all? Grafia and her group W. As also greeting with people. Some of them were discussing about marriage contract with Elsa and Sarav Bell, which Grafia politely declined and said, I'm sorry Lord Bell, but I think my daughter should choose the wise man for herself, and I have my full support to her. Lord Bell was not satisfied but didn't speak about that subject. As everyone was talking about wedding or having their discussion, they felt sudden rise in power. Many young devils were alert because of rise in power, but those who recognized the power were shocked. More specifically Sir X, he was sweating like hell. He was scared, but then he thought it's not as powerful as it used to be, so it might be someone else, but still he was scared, and he knew if this is the man he thought he was good as dead. Grafia was so shocked that she didn't know what to do. She was smiling and shedding small tears of joy. You came back as you promised. The peerage group was so shocked and happy for the first time in 100 years. Sir X called his peerage, who don't know about Naruto that much, and ordered them to guard the place. Beowulf and Enku, as you should have sensed the demonic power and it's approaching here. Both of them nodded their head. You are to guard this place at any cost and do not let the intruder come here. Kill him on the spot, and also you can use promotion anytime you want. Both of his pawns nodded their heads and leave outside. Somewhere near northern part of the underworld. Everything was peaceful on northern part of the underworld, but suddenly a portal opened in the sky and a lone man came out of the portal. The man who came out of portal with messy blonde hair and cold blue eyes, wearing black pants, night shoes and cut gloves. His upper body was bare. As he walked out of portal, he cracked his neck and stretched his muscle, and he suddenly powered up to his utmost limit. I have gotten weaker than I thought. Then he looked towards southeast part. It's been long time and I have apologies to her getting late. As he said that, darkness started to cover his body and black wings of darkness appeared behind him and he leaped in the sky with speed beyond Mach 20 feet. He was flying so fast no one was able to track him. In few seconds he reached ceremony hall. As he saw hundreds of guards was waiting for him with someone's spear edge, he looked at them with toothy grin. When they saw him, all guards attack him. The man leaped at them and started to attack them with his brute strength, punching, kicking them. Then he grabbed a sword from dead soldier and started to cut them into pieces. He was tearing the guards like paper. As other guards saw this, they attacked him with magic, but he dove them swiftly and attacked with his black fire. Remaining guards panicked in thought, "Who is this monster?" and started to run and scream in fear. When Enku and Beowulf saw this, they were so shocked. They thought that how could they handle him, but now even they started to doubt their power. But regardless, they attack him. Both of them yelled simultaneously, "Promotion Queen," and attack him with newfound speed with sudden power up and speed. The man was caught off guard as they hit him in face and back simultaneously, sending him in the ground. Both Beowulf and Enku was now thought they might be able to win if they attack him with teamwork. As dust cloud cleared, they saw the man was standing unharmed, looking at them in pure disappointment, and spoke, "What a waste of time. Are you amateurs or what? I thought you might be a good for my warm-up, but you really are weak." The moment that man called them weak, Beowulf jumped to attack him, but before Enku could warn them, the man vanished from their sight and reappeared in front of Enku and crushed Beowulf's head in the ground. Enku was terrified of the monster in front of him. How can he defeat this monster alone, who were able to crush the hundreds of guards and take down Beowulf in single attack? Then the man looked towards Enku. Was so terrified to move. He then started to walk towards him. With each step, Enku was feeling like death was coming to consume him, but as the man reached Enku, he passed him like he was not even there. As he passed Enku, he sighed with relief, but then he remembered the ore. He was almost near the door. Enku called him, "Stop right there. I do not know who are you and why you are here, but my king ordered me to stop you at any cost, so in the name of Lord Syrinx's name, I, Enku his pawn, will stop you." When the man heard that name, he stopped and turned and faced Enku with his hair shadowed his eyes and spoke, "Do you know what you have said will cost to you?" But Enku attacked him without answering. Before he could reach an attack, that man vanished from the spot and he felt his head crashed to tea. He wore without any further delay. That man assaulted Enku with relentless attacks. He wasn't even giving Enku chance to scream. Finally that man grabbed Enku by his collar and threw him in the air, then punched him in the gut so hard that he was sent flying, crushing the door, and then finally crashed into the wall right in between Rhys and Rhysr. Everyone in the room was so shocked that someone was able to defeat Syrinx Peerage, but they were also afraid of the person who was able to defeat them. Few minutes earlier, everyone in the hall sensed the demonic power. The lower class devils were scared to the death, especially the recently reincarnated devils. Many devils from old generation was in the front lines. Elsa was also ready. If things get out of hand, she will also help them. But when she looked towards her mother and Peerage, she was surprised that they were not tense like everyone, rather they were happy, and this was unusual for her. But she focused on the door. Syrinx saw the panic and he get up from his chair and spoke, "Lords and ladies, please calm down. I have sent my trusted servants Beowulf and Enku to see capture the enemy, so do not worry about them. They can handle him, and if something happens, I am here to handle it. So shall we proceed the marriage?" All high-class devils nodded their head. Rhys looked at her brother with hurt expression, but Syrinx ignored her. Right now all he wanted was Greyfear and He will have her. Greyfear was furious. She wanted to attack Syrinx, but she was stopped by other Peerage. Elsa saw this. Now she was surprised and confused. She knew that her mother never liked Syrinx, but why she didn't know. She tried to find the reason but never find a true reason. But she knew Syrinx had crush on her mother for long time, but that's not the reason. It might be more personal that she thought. Then she turned her head towards Rhys. But right now this is more important than finding the reason between mother and Lord Lucifer's hate. As everyone was ready for the wedding, suddenly the door was blown into pieces and someone crashed to the wall behind Rhys and Rhysr. Everyone was shocked. How can this possible? But when they saw someone was coming inside, everyone except Greyfear and her Peerage members got into stance. But the moment that person entered the room, all older generation was shocked and scared. Shocked because how can he be alive when he was pierced through heart, and scared if he can survive holy water, then he was truly a monster. Darkness started to pour into the room, and the cause of the darkness was the monster who is also known as Naruto Uzumaki, the strongest devil in Underworld. Oh, Naruto's personality will undergo a few changes. He will be a bit laid back with some perverseness, occasionally and only with his girls. However, he will have his serious moments, and when he gets pissed, you better get clear. Naruto will have a harem, so send reviews and let me know who you want in the harem. It will contain 8 girls, including Graphia, no more, no less. This is my first time writing a harem, and the girls who receives the most votes will join Graphia in Naruto's harem. You can vote for any girl to be in the harem, except for Elsa and her peerage. Last time on the Dark King, everyone was in their places. The wedding was ready to begin. Suddenly, the door was blown into splinters and someone crashed to the wall behind Rias and Raiza. Eyes went wide at the impossible happening right in front of them. Footsteps were heard and all heads turned to the sound. Everyone saw a silhouette appearing in the smoke and got into a stance. Everyone except for Graphia and the peerage of her husband. The silhouette walked out of the smoke, and the sight surprised everyone in the room, with the older generate Iron looking especially shocked and scared. Shocked, because they heard this being's heart was pierced through and through, and scared, because if he could survive holy water, then he was truly a monster. A monster, who is called the strongest devil. The monster known as Naruto Uzumaki. Current time. As Naruto walked inside the hall, darkness covered his entire body and his eyes held nothing but black holes. The bloodlust emanating from his being caused all lower-class devils to faint, and all the high and mid-class devils to suffocate. Pure, unadulterated rage had engulfed every pore in his body, but then he also saw the shocked faces of everyone in the room. All the remaining devils did not even dare to move from their spot, but then he heard someone yelling at him. He ignored the yell because that noise did not come from his target. Sir X, Naruto thought and kept his pace. Raiza looked on in indignant rage. He planned to marry Rias, take her to bed, and make her call to him like a nun calling to her god. He had planned everything for his special night, but some nameless bastard had to interrupt, and that bastard had to pay with his life. So, like a spoiled brat, he yelled, "Hey, bastard! Who do you think you are, interrupting my wedding?" When Naruto kept walking as if he hadn't heard him, Raiza turned to the guards. "What are you doing, you useless wastes?" Exclamation mark. "Capture him, kill him, I don't care, just get him out of my sight." All the guards stopped shaking and nodded their heads, but the older generation looked at Raiza in shock. It became clear that he had no idea who he wanted his guards to capture. Either that, or he had gone so far in over his head that he lost his common sense along the way. Before anyone could prevent the attack, all the remaining guards attacked Naruto, but still Naruto kept walking without even looking at anyone. When they stood a few feet away from him, something flashed, and in the next instant, all of the attacking guards fell into pieces and all of their limbs flew in a rain of blood. To sum it up, Naruto literally killed all those guards in an instant. Raiza started to shake in fear. He racked his brain for a possible course of action against this abnormality, but nobody other than ultimate class devils could track his movements. Even for high-class devils, all the movements Naruto made came out as a blur. Raiza looked at his peerage and opened his mouth to yell at them to attack him. But then, Graphia leapt towards him. All of the devils present looked at her in complete and utter shock, but none more so than the younger generation, especially Elsa and her peerage. When Elsa saw her mother lunge at the man who killed guards in a flash, she screamed in fear. "Kachan, don't!" Elsa and her peerage all moved to catch Graphia, but they were stopped by Mudgear's thorns. "Let me go," Elsa cried. "I need to stop her before it's too late." Elsa moved as much as she could, but Mudgear didn't let go of her and turned to her with a kind gaze. "Do not fear, Lady Elsa. Nothing bad shall happen to my lady." Quote. Elsa watched her mother move closer to that murderer and, with the fact that she couldn't do anything to prevent her mother's death, fell to her knees in despair.